Another year is over. 2020 is over. It's time again for one of my recap videos. I do them every single year since I started this channel right here. Since I started capturing my journey as a DJ and producer, daily vlogging about it. I just watched all of the older recap videos. And it's kind of funny to see me like starting with absolutely nothing as a DJ and producer, working my way up and eventually ending up right here. At the very end of last year, I said something like, the next year opens up new opportunities, so of course I will embrace them 100%. I mean, who would have ever thought that 2020 will be such a weird year? The pandemic changed everything for everyone. It wasn't about embracing new stuff, about advancing, about moving forward. It was more about trying to keep things together and afloat. A very weird year. Let's first start with like the recap of this year, because there were also a whole lot of positive things, a whole lot of new things, a whole lot of things I look back onto and I'm actually proud of. So watch me. The year started with opening a very special door.
Home sweet home.
Yeah. We got the key. We're super excited. I mean, wow. This is the dream apartment. Which led to a whole lot of IKEA and IKEA Tetris. It's just half. There's another full card coming. Followed by the biggest event. Like right behind me is a huge arena, 40,000 people. The biggest party. And also the only party in 2020. Couple therapy at IKEA. Honestly, that's like the IKEA master plan. They make you suffer. Building the kitchen. Make another hole for the sink, put it in there, and that's it. That was so much work, almost as much work as the next clip. Recording it through this mic and then trying to upload it to Spotify. I also had the opportunity to visit a very amazing studio right here in my hometown. You can also rent this place, or it's just for you guys? Okay.
It's this just,
is all private. Yeah, it's really nice. Having friends over from the Netherlands, showing them my studio for some John Sine.
Yes, originals.
And of course the city, getting some drinks and that kind of stuff. With a little bit of party. Another studio visit to the most futuristic, cleanest studio I've ever visited.
And you can sum them all together and you have 3 buses.
First planning of building a new studio, this studio right here. The next clip you see is this place without any of the construction. Like removing some of the stuff in here. And then yeah, then the COVID thing started. Festivals. I don't see any of them happening for probably the rest of the year. That was my very first video about the situation, my predictions. I said the soccer, football games, they're still happening. The day they will start canceling them is really serious. And it then was very serious. It is until now. Yeah, that actually happened. 2020 was the year where it was really hard to get toilet paper. That's my little home setup. As everyone, we stayed a whole lot at home. I moved my studio to our closet. How was your first home office day?
Amazing.
Oh, I love that. My first Corona haircut. It looked horrible, but was a fun experience. Morning, happy birthday. There is a surprise for you, another one. Okay. Probably the saddest day of the entire year, Vanessa's birthday, not being able to celebrate it at all with anyone. Police patrolling, checking every couple of minutes. Absolutely no one. Down there at City Hall, no market. The street pretty much empty. All stores, every place to drink beer closed. No one there, no shops opened, everything like a ghost town. Unfortunately, no luck. And yeah, still absolutely no toilet paper. It was really the hardest to get item this entire year. The next part was then like the turning point, at least for me personally. I thought about reconstructing this place right here, the studio. And that's like the smartest thing I've ever done. It's now done. It looks beautiful. It sounds good. And the building process kept me afloat. It kept me occupied. It kept me thinking. It kept me concentrating on something positive rather than everything just going down. The studio will be fully modular. I can take any of these segments out. I can move the entire studio, selecting fabrics and like samples, getting the first huge order, testing the LEDs first, getting a whole lot more of material, starting building the first absorbers, fabric around, absorbing material in, receiving the probably most expensive rubber on this planet to build the entire studio on top, floating room within a room construction, ordering and receiving the very first gear, more samples, more testing, more gear, amazing gear, epic gear, and the next day more gear. Another huge important point in 2020 was right in the middle, where I hit 4 years of daily vlogging without missing a single upload, which makes me really proud. The biggest accomplishment probably of my life. And to celebrate all of this, we went to Mannheim, which isn't really far, but that was all we could do. Leaving Germany wasn't possible. But a very much needed break. Like from all of the weirdness, all of the staying at home, getting outside, getting to another place, playing some mini golf outside, felt really refreshing. Of course, as always, we also checked out some castles for Vanessa, very impressive. The next day back to the studio, further constructing, followed by building the table. That was exhausting and very heavy. Putting all of the cables together and like starting actually using the studio to make music. My time off during the summer was okay. I luckily have a beach right next here to my studio, and drinking wine helped. Buying a whole lot of new camera gear, testing it, and filming probably the most epic sequences I've ever shared right here on this channel, which inspired me to build a huge kaleidoscope and trying to capture some bits and pieces for music videos. Another short vacation trip, just getting drunk. Defeat. Vanessa's giving up. Another fun thing was definitely the 100,000 subscriber YouTube reward. I also distracted myself with my absolute favorite toy of 2020. Whoa! So much fun. Way too much fun, actually. Another evening, a friend of mine celebrated his birthday in a really nice bar. I had way too many drinks. I was trying to make up for all of the time where I couldn't go outside and celebrate and drink and hang out with my friends, which led to the next day just having the biggest hangover ever. I also got some new DJ gear for no reason actually than just testing it. And I also had like one of the sadder moments. Like this field in front of my studio, the steel field, it's completely empty. And that's really sad. We were also really lucky to kind of catch the only time in the year where we were allowed to travel and stay at a hotel. Of course, just in Germany. So we decided to travel to the very south, enjoying castles. We were really lucky with the weather, eating a whole lot of German food, drinking a whole lot of beer. And except for having to wear a mask, it was really enjoyable, and we're extremely happy and glad that we actually did it. Except for maybe that bridge Vanessa dragged me onto. And it's shaking. Oh my god. I can't continue. And then following it up by going up to the highest mountain in Germany. The view was amazing, but the way up was scary. The next day, getting tested for COVID just to be safe. And then back to studio constructing, putting the speakers into the wall. Leonard joining my team again, visiting my mom in her studio and also visiting my dad in his studio. That one evening I made techno music very late at night with a friend, testing the full lights for the very first time right here. The worst day of the year was definitely waiting here in the studio for Vanessa getting surgery. Whew, that was a tough day. That's really by far the best news, that Vanessa is recovering quite fast. Soon back to constructing the studio, trying to get the floor in here, finishing the last details, getting the cables through the floor, installing the last bits and finishes in the studio, celebrating Christmas in a very small circle again, because another lockdown. One of the very last days of the year was just enjoying some quality time with my parents, just going outside for a walk, enjoying nature, and yeah, that's basically it. That was 2020. No traveling to other countries, no meeting new people. I think that's like the biggest throwback. Usually when you're making music, when you're connecting to the right people, new things happen, new things evolve, new connections open up new doors. None of this was happening this year. Absolutely nothing. I haven't met a new person at all. Like no new connections, nothing. It really feels like standstill. So I'm extremely happy and lucky that I started the studio construction. So I can at least say 2020 was a weird and shitty year, but at least I got something really nice. So let's see what 2021 has to offer. I hope this corona situation will be over as soon as possible. Let me know how your year felt like. What were your ups and downs? And what you're wishing for in the next year. I think for next year I just want back to normality. Just go outside, have some drinks with friends. That's like already like all I'm wishing for the next year. Anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys. Happy New Year. Usually I'd say don't drink so much and be careful with the fireworks, but both isn't allowed, at least in Germany, so probably just staying at home and eating some good steak. I don't know. See you again tomorrow. Happy New Year. Sign out.